Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adult Game Reviews. This week I was finally able to review B.E.S.T, or the B.E.S.T evaluation system by Dolila. Besides being the most annoying game to have to search for, try searching for best game and you'll understand.
Oh, no, this isn't right.
B.E.S.T was a different take on the college genre. I got it off of Steam, and you can too for $11.99. You can play B.E.S.T on Windows, Mac, Android, Steam Deck, and Linux. Okay, so I found out B.E.S.T is going to have a 40% sale on May 11th to the 12th. So if you want to get it at a great price, I would check it out on Steam on May 11th. Also, if you like the video, please like it. It really helps out the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, so if you don't know, I've been streaming B.E.S.T slowly with Emily. My chat sabotaged me so much that I had to start over from scratch, but it was fun nonetheless. I played through all 4 chapters, and for a single playthrough, it took me about 6 to 7 hours. However, you will need multiple playthroughs. Choices matter, but before I go on about that, let's get into the premise. You play a French exchange student attending college in the US. However, your acceptance wasn't because of your academics, but for other more nefarious seeming reasons. You were kind of duped and thrown into a 100-person competition known as the B.E.S.T evaluation system. Why weren't you told about the competition before coming to America? No idea. Most of your time is spent interacting with all the girls and trying to improve your ranking. However, it does feel like something isn't right with all that's going on. I'm just waiting for the big reveal to answer a lot of the unanswered questions.
Oh, not yet, honey. We gotta wait for Johnny's big reveal.
Let's kick it off with the visuals. There are short animations to longer animations in Chapter 4. The animations were very good across the board. However, the renders were decent at the beginning, but improved dramatically over the course of the VN. All in all, the visuals were really good. Not quite the best I've ever seen, no pun intended, but I would give it a high B or a low A for visuals. The audio is pretty solid. The music is hit or miss early on, but that also gets better over time, so, pretty decent. Let's get into something that I have to address. I gave Law School in my last video a little crap for how off some of the details were when set in the US. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The world building was terrible.
It wasn't great.
In B.E.S.T, there's some weird word usage or phrasing as well, but what is the difference between these games? In Law School, you play an American in America. In B.E.S.T, you play a French guy in America. So believe it or not, this does make a difference.
Why does that matter?
This gives some leeway for the MC to not know things and to have some odd word usage. I know one reference that was used a lot in B.E.S.T is minus and cortex. I had no idea what this was until Ruby lets the reader know that they're talking about Pinky and the Brain from the Animaniacs.
One is a genius, the other's insane.
I remember playing B.E.S.T early on, and Chapter 1 was a bit rough for the writing and the translations and the references. I know Dolila went back and addressed some of the writing and translations. It's not perfect, but if I didn't play an earlier version, I wouldn't likely notice too many inconsistencies. However, many of the references in B.E.S.T feel quite dated. From the Queen or Highlander reference,
there can be only one.
The Pinky and the Brain, minus and cortex, to Bend It Like Beckham or Shaolin Soccer. And the jokes about Ruby's braid, I didn't really understand, and I'm kind of glad they laid off of that in later chapters. So I'm not sure what the minimum age you have to be to get all the pop culture references, but I'm guessing 30 maybe?
I'm 30.
The story itself really emphasizes that you're a foreigner in a new place. While most of the girls are welcoming, you're learning about the world with your character. And there seems to be a whole lot more to the competition than what you know now, which always leaves a lot of the plot feeling kind of secretive. I'm just waiting to find some sort of grand conspiracy going on. I hope. So the story still feels like there's a lot more to look forward to in the future. For me, the best part of B.E.S.T was the actual competition and trying to get my ranking higher. From the obstacle course early on to the quiz, to the first soccer match. The later soccer matches, I think, were just culminations of your stats, which left me wanting more choice. However, that's not a huge deal. I was actually really surprised with how hard the quiz was, which I actually really liked. However, I know there are some mixed opinions on that. You have 4 stats you need to raise up, with some things being gated behind your stats. You have buddy, education, sport, and temperament. As far as I can tell, sport has been really helpful with the athletic competitions. However, one thing I will never forget is the Mrs. Drew references. If you know, you know. Mrs. Drew.
You're trying to seduce me.
Moving on. So let's get into love interests. You have different paths with the 9 possible love interests. Right now it feels like you are still in the early stages with many of the possible girls. So I have no idea if there will be more or less possible love interests in the future. Some of the girls you get to know better are Ruby, Grace, Julia, with Madison and some others feeling like slow burns.
You can call me Ruby.
Just FYI, this is not meant to be a group path game, I'm sure that eventually I'll be picking one main love interest, so keep that in mind. And due to the slow burn kind of feeling with many of the girls, the spicy content also seems to be on the lighter side. I mean, this does make sense, but know what you're getting into. So what did I think? I've been enjoying B.E.S.T. It feels like there's a lot going on that we don't know yet. However, one reason I've been waiting on doing a review of B.E.S.T. was simply because it still feels like it's pretty early on. As of chapter 4, I think it has added enough to be able to recommend B.E.S.T. at this point, so B.E.S.T. is a play for me. However, I totally get it if you want to wait longer. I want to thank my backers on Patreon and Subscribestar, and if you haven't seen my review of Law School, you can check it out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.